Welcome to the Private Practice Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Brooklyn Storm, here to help you unlock the mind, business, and spirit of your private practice success. So whether you're just starting out or you're looking to grow, this is the place for you if you really want to create a thriving private practice. Before we dive in, I want to share something that can really make a difference in your business. Imagine having an expert in your pocket, someone available on demand whenever you need guidance. Well, that's exactly what my new program, Practice Momentum, offers. With over 30 years of experience at your fingertips, you can now get the support you need whenever you need it. Curious? Head over to brooklynstorm.com to learn more. Hey, how has your week been going so far? Mine has been one of just trying to get better organized. I looked at my Google Calendar and all of my little appointments, not that I have many, but I do things like I have some appointment availability for people in Momentum, like they can pop into my diary and book sessions. And then I do run monthly supervision in the Diploma Counsellor Society and things like that. And so anyway, I was kind of thinking I want to rejig the diary a little bit, because one of the other things that I'm doing is I'm writing a book. And I've noticed that I've had the intention to do this for a little while now, but I haven't actually gotten around to it because I haven't been prioritizing it. I've kind of been just reacting to the day. And I realized when I was looking at my diary that while it had some structure, I like loose structure that's quite flexible. But I thought maybe if I color code things, we'll just see how that goes. I used to color code things, but then I just found it overwhelming to look at the diary, and I just really love looking at white space. So what I've done is I've color coded in pastels. There you go. And it's feeling much better. And the way that I've color coded is things that are non-negotiable that I need to do, like show up for group sessions. But then sort of color coded other things as well. And the other thing that I did too was in Google Calendar, you can add tasks into your calendar. So I've been popping little tasks into the calendar that are just 15-minute tasks, and I put them all on a Saturday when I don't work. And initially it feels good because I'm here are all the things that I want to do this week. And then on Monday, it's like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get all of this done? I've still got more things to do, but I'm deleting them off my calendar when they're done, which means I'm getting more of the white space back, which gives me the dopamine hit. So I'm actually quite loving it, and I'm not even adding more things, which is something I would have done in the past, have that never-ending to-do list. So there's that. And this was all brought about because I wanted to be able to write the book. And on the weekend, I was thinking I need to do something about this. And one thing led to another. And then I was looking for a resource for a planner. I couldn't find anything that I liked, so I ended up making a planner. And then I just got carried away with it. I loved it. It's got its own little theme. It's really fun. And what I thought was going to be just a short little planner, be 1 or 2 pages, actually turned into 23 pages. And I love it. I love it. And I was so excited that I shared it with the women in Practice Momentum. And I just said, hey, I just made this, and I thought that I would share it with you in case anybody wants to give it a go, give it a try, see how you like it. And it's been really fun because some of them grabbed it and they've been using it, and they're screenshotting what they're doing and sending it to me. And it's like, wow. And now I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe I'm going to turn this into a thing. I don't know. So anyway, that's how it all came about. So that's what's been happening for me in the background. And it's been really great because I've been getting my time back. And then the other thing too was, I was watching an interview recently, and the guy who was being interviewed, he was a billionaire and he's an entrepreneur, and he was talking about not everybody can be an entrepreneur, right? You've got to have, I guess, character traits that can't be taught. Like, you've got to have a tolerance for risk. And I think as women in business, we are entrepreneurs. We do have some tolerance for risk. We are people who want to do things our own way. We do have a vision for how things could be, for a contribution that we could make to the community. So I think that, we're a very special breed being able to do this, because it's not for everyone, right? Being an entrepreneur, it's highs and lows, and it's, you don't have to go and Google a course for personal development. I think if you want to grow as a person, just start a business and all your stuff's going to come up and you're going to have to deal with it. And there it is right there. That's your personal development. So very sorry if you can hear jumping around and things like that. It's Buddy being very silly, and I'm just trying to ignore him because I don't want to reinforce it. So it's very hard for me to look away, but he's trying to jump on my desk and tap me on the arm and pull on my top. So I'm just trying to ignore him. So sorry about that. Okay, now the thing that I want to speak about today is I was inspired because every morning part of my routine with Buddy is we get up and we have we make coffee and we have our breakfast, and we just sit in front of the TV for half an hour together just to have a little bit of time together as we're waking up, getting ready for the day. And one of my favorite things to do is I love to watch reruns of The Office. I don't mind if it's the American or the UK one, like I'm not fussy about it. But anyway, I saw something yesterday and I thought, oh, this is gold. Like, I have to share this. Okay, so when you're trying to sell something, right? So at the moment, people have grabbed the Booked and Better product that teaches them how to make an app for their private practice. And some of them are going to be giving away the app to clients, like as their freebie. It's replacing the PDF on their website. Others are going to be selling it and things like that. And some people have started sharing it already with existing clients or on their business pages, websites, Facebook pages, their LinkedIn, and they're starting to get downloads of it. And it's all very, very exciting. But there are other people who aren't. And I was, they're like, oh, I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. I really love my app, da, 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 da. And so I went and I had a look at some websites and I realized, they're not actually selling it, right? They're just it looks like a email subscriber button. It just kind of says, download the free thing. And then it says, put in your email, click the button to get it. And I realized, they're not actually selling it. They think they are, but that's because they don't know what they don't know, right? So I thought it might be helpful to explain what you need to do to actually get your free thing moving. And the way to do it is to actually communicate the value of it. So when I saw this thing on, I've just forgotten the name of it because I've been distracted by who. What was the show that I was watching? I know you can remember it. I know you're encouraging me in the car. I know. The Office. So it was an episode where Dunder Mifflin Paper Company, where all the employees work at the office, they were having a garage sale to raise money for a party or something like that. Anyway, so they set up in the warehouse and they all had little tables and they all had to bring some stuff to sell at their garage sale. And one of the characters, his name is Dwight Schrute. He decided that what he was going to do was go around to everybody's table and he was going to trade up. So I think he started something small like a paper clip. And he ended up trading up by going and speaking to everybody at the different tables and swapping the paperclip, for example, for something better. And then he would get the something better and go to the next table and trade that up for something better than what he had. All of this. Anyway, so he gets to a table where Kelly Japor is sitting and she's got a stack of books, or she's got 2 stacks of books actually, on her table. And Dwight comes along and he says, here you go, I'll trade you the candle for the stack of books. And he shows her the candle and it's half burnt, right? So it was one of those long candles, like you would put on the dinner table. It was quite a long candle and it was clearly like half burnt. There was wax sort of dripping down the side of it. The little, I was going to say stalk or thread, the wick was charcoal. And she looked at it and she screwed her face up. She's like, ew, like, no, I don't want your half burnt candle. No, thanks. That's junk. Like, put it in the bin. And then Dwight said to her, okay. Now, quick backstory. Kelly is dating a guy called Ryan and she's always trying to have to push in a relationship for any attention from Ryan. So then anyway, Dwight says to Kelly, listen, if Ryan goes over to your house and he sees that this candle is burnt down, he's going to wonder, oh my gosh, who else has been here? Who else has been here? And he's going to realize what he could potentially lose. And then he's going to like throw himself at you and you're going to have like, you know, everything that you want from Ryan. This gets Kelly thinking. And then she says, okay, then fine. I will give me the candle and yes, take the books. And Dwight comes away from that looking very smug. You can see what happened here. He's gone up and he said, here's my candle, take the candle. Nobody wanted the candle. But then when he explains to her the benefits of the candle, how her life's going to be different because she's got the candle, how she's going to be able to have, you know, this outcome that she really wants because of this candle, all of a sudden it makes the candle desirable to her. And I know that therapy is not a candle. However, what I also know is that when you're trying to sell your thing, whether it's therapy or whether it's the app you've made or whether it's your free PDF on your website, instead of selling the PDF or saying get my app or something like that, it's very important that you understand the relevance of it to your client and what your client really wants. That is how you sell things, okay? And it's kind of like selling without selling, because for us in the work that we do, we're already very attuned to our clients. We already know what they want. We already know the outcome that they want. In my experience of doing all these website audits, for example, though, one of the things that I can absolutely say is that so many therapists are selling the candle. And the other thing is that so many therapists are making the website or the free thing or whatever, well, usually it's the website, usually it's the Facebook posts and things like that. They're making them about them. If you want to, you know, improve, say, conversions on the website, if you want to get more inquiries or more bookings, the way to do it is to make things relatable to your client. That is value. Okay, so when you hear people in other industries saying, oh, you've got to have a high value this or a high value that, it doesn't necessarily mean a dollar amount. This is what I say to you when you say, oh, people aren't booking because of my fees. It's very rarely because of your fees, right? You know, there's a new iPhone coming out soon. It's going to be nearly $3,000. There are already people on a wait list. And there are going to be some of those people on the wait list that need your service but don't buy it. It's got nothing to do with the money, right? They've got money there for a $3,000 iPhone. They're not seeing the value in your service. They're seeing the value in the iPhone, happy to pay through the nose for it, but they're not seeing the value in your service and not happy to pay $160 for it. And this is happening because when you're writing stuff on your website, for example, and you're listing your services, you're doing things like saying, standard consultation, 60 minutes, I'm going to use ACT, CBT, you know, integrative therapies, all of this. Your client has no idea. That's you selling them a candle. If your client is a busy working single mum and you're going to use, I don't know, let's say mindfulness. Instead of saying that you're going to use mindfulness, say, some of the strategies that I will be drawing upon or that I may draw upon during our work together include the following. Mindfulness. Explain what mindfulness is. Mindfulness is a process of da 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 da, and then explain how it's relevant to a busy working single mum that's like struggling with anxiety. Explain the relevance of it. Here's why I use mindfulness with busy working single mums who are struggling with anxiety. Mindfulness has been demonstrated to work. It's something you can do at school pick-up, school drop-off while you're waiting. It is very, it's a powerful, useful tool that you can do anywhere, and do you know what I mean? Stuff, it's not going to require time that you don't have to actually implement and get a result, things like that. And then you go on to the next therapy and the next therapy, and you do the same thing. When you write your about section on your website, your website's not about you. Your website is about your client. So when you're writing your about section and you're like, I grew up in Hobart and, I was one of 4 and my childhood this, and then, I got married over here and I had my own children over there. Like, who cares? That has a relevant to a busy working single mum who's got anxiety. Only share the relevant bits of your background in the about section. So in that case, maybe you're going to say something like, I don't recall ever having any issues with anxiety until I had my first child. Being a single mum was hard, and it was something that I just wasn't prepared for. I didn't expect to feel anxious. I expected that it was going to be, puppy dogs and rainbows. I thought that it was going to be like the happiest period of my life, but actually it was a nightmare for me. I found myself not sleeping because I was so worried that maybe if I didn't hear my baby, it was because my baby wasn't breathing. So I was like always hypervigilant, listening out. I'd take my baby everywhere. Like I would put my baby in the bathroom while I was trying to have a shower, and I'd be super quick in the shower so that, nothing happened to the baby and all of this. And, it took me a very long time to figure out how to, engage in like mum life without support from a partner, minus the anxiety. And it wasn't until I did this thing that I realized, why aren't more people sharing this with mums who have newborns? And so I vowed that when I was able, I was going to go and invest in my education, get my qualification so that I could do the thing. And here I am, I'm doing the thing, and this is why I do it. See what I mean? That's very different to I have a bachelor's in finance and I have a master's of business administration and this, that, and the other. Like, who cares? That's irrelevant to the client who might be the busy working single mum, right? You might have those things and they're amazing qualifications and they're very valid and they're very important and all those kinds of things, but they're just not relevant to her, right? She can't connect with that. So anyway, what I'm saying is value is what gets the inquiry. Value is what gets the booking. Stop selling the candle, start speaking into the value, start sharing from that place. And this also makes me want to just loop back and say this is why niching is so important, especially if you're just starting in business. As I've shared with you so many times before, in my experience doing this for so long, helping hundreds of women in private practice to get their businesses moving off the ground, getting clients, it's niching almost every time that turns things around in the beginning, because it's a very famous saying, and it's so true, that the riches are in the niches. For us working in the work that we do in our field, in our sector, it's not so much the riches in the niches, it's like the clients are in the niches, right? Because our clients, they're looking for specific things. So when you are just starting your private practice and you don't have enough clients yet for to meet your obligations and things like that, you're still building, you're still needing to grow your diary. It's very, very important to offer something that's specific, because a client will never go into Google and type, I'm looking for a general counsellor that sees people from ages 4 to 94, that does all the things and all of that, right? It doesn't, no, you'll never get work like that. There is a place for generalist practices. By and large, not when you're first starting out and you're trying to make money and you're trying to help people and you're trying to get the diary going. You can, from a niche, over time, you can absolutely start expanding out to different services or different client groups or different modalities and all of the things. That's totally fine. You can. But in the beginning, it's going to slow you down significantly. We don't want to do that. We want to make sure that you're prepared to be found by the right people. And this is another thing that I see so often that is a barrier to women being able to attract clients. I feel like so many of us have so much to give, and we genuinely care and we genuinely want to help. And this translates to us writing in a very expressive writing style. The writing that I see on so many websites is very expressive writing, in that it's very flowery writing. It's very, very flowery. The problem with that is your clients aren't typing flowery language into a Google search. They're using plain language, everyday language in their words. So when they're typing and they're asking Google the question, Google's not going to match flowery, expressive writing to the question that they're asking. The website that matches their language, the everyday language of the everyday client in your niche, that's what Google's going to match to. So I understand why it happens, like why we write. We take it very seriously, and we want to build that connection, and we want to show that we love and we care and we're soft and we are compassionate and, we're understanding and everything. But flowery language is not going to get your client. And the other thing too is there's also a tendency to write in a very kind of stiff, cold, not corporate, but it's almost as if you're trying to convey to the person who visits your website that you're something perhaps, I'm not choosing my words very well here, I'm sorry, but I want to say like bigger than you are, or more important, or there's like you're trying to like, I don't know, impress upon them something. It's like you're trying to write in a way that you think you need to write. Example, you're a solo practice, but you're saying, get in touch with us. At our practice, we value. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that. It's kind of very cold and stiff, and it's not professional. It's more, I don't know. It's very disconnected. It makes people who visit the website feel like there are gatekeepers. When you're using language like that, and we go to the About section on your website and we see you, but we don't see the team. And there's no tab saying, meet the team. And then when we look at the services, there's nothing there about what different team members provide. And it suddenly dawns on us that there is no team. Now we don't trust your brand. We don't trust your practice, because you're telling us you're authentic and genuine, yet you're not being authentic and genuine. So no, I'm not going to trust you with my deep, dark personal secrets and my mental health. So no, I'm not going to book an appointment with you. So what I mean? But you've written it in that way because you think that that's how you need to write. You need to present in a certain way. It's got to sound professional, all of this kind of stuff. I want you to know that you can sound professional and still write in a way that connects with your audience and that shows value. You're not showing the value when you're writing in a way that you think you need to write. Okay. So yeah, there's all of that. So yeah, I just thought that this was a really, really wonderful lesson. And the other thing too is not a side note, but it's kind of like a related side note, but I came across this when I was doing research for my book, because you know me, I love to research. I research just about everything. I'm addicted. I'm an alumni with Monash University. I have been since I got my PhD in 2007, and I love love that I've got access to the uni databases. I'm in there very often, very regularly. And anyway, so I was doing research for my book, and this didn't come up in the uni database. This came up, I think, on Google actually, when I was looking for something. And it was Alex Hormozi. So I know some of you are already familiar with him. Alex Hormozi is an entrepreneur. I mean, if you saw him, he looks maybe a little bit rough around the edges. He speaks in a way that's very sort of matter of fact and very blunt, kind of like me, but maybe even a little bit more kind of rough, I would say. But he's a millionaire. I mean, he might be a billionaire. I'm not sure. But anyway, his thing is all about teaching entrepreneurs how to do things like get leads and, you know, make money with their business and make $1 million and all of this kind of stuff. And he's very good at leading first, you know, like giving value first, giving something that's going to be useful to his audience first, and then following up with a pitch, right? Following up with a, well, yeah, I'm so excited to share this thing with you. And hey, if you're interested, I've got this other thing that will work really well with that, da, 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 da. Anyway, he just had a book launch in August, and the numbers are ridiculous. I haven't written them down, but I should have. But I mean, you can go and Google it for yourself. It hit the Guinness Book of World Records. He made over $100 million in sales of a $30 book in 48 hours. I know, in 48 hours. It was just like mind-blowing. And I know many of you are in private practice doing like the one-to-one work, but I know there are also some of you that do the private one-to-one work, but you've also got courses or memberships or subscriptions or your passive income and things like that. So this next bit will be interesting for you. The way that he did it was he did it with a live launch. So if you've been in my world for a while, I mean, I haven't done one for about 12 or 18 months, but I used to live launch regularly. I would have, you know, week-long launches. They would go for like 2 hours a day for the first 3 days. Then there would be a bonus live training on day 5. And then there would be, you know, a bonus Q&A on day 6. And they used to go for like a week, and that was how I used to enroll people into my things, like my courses or my memberships, my digital products, my passive income, all of that. Yeah, as I said, haven't done one for a while, but anyway, they take a lot, right? It's a lot of work that goes into them. If you're someone who gets overwhelmed, even with having a lot of steps broken down, it can still be overwhelming. You've got to be committed. You've got to be able to self-manage. You've got to be able to, be okay with having bucket loads to do, basically. But anyway, the launch that he did was a 1-day live launch. It went for like 11 hours and 38 minutes or something. He was on YouTube live streaming the launch. You can't watch it now. He made the replay available only for people who upgraded. So it was either you watch it live or miss out. So what he did, his approach was he gave everybody a free thing that was high value. It was one of his books. The book was something about how to get, you know, your next 100 leads. No, that's not it. I don't know. Something. It was a book on, how to do something. I forget. But anyway, the book had high value to the people who were watching it, right? Lots of people ended up buying, getting the book. He was giving the book away free. It's a physical book. He's sending it to people all over the world, totally free. I mean, you can't get it now. This was happening on the live stream. It's done now. And then he sort of, when he was talking about the book, he was speaking about what the book's going to do for you, how the book's going to help you with your business, what's on the other side of you implementing the stuff from this book, blah, 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 right? And so people were like, yeah, I want the book, I want the book, I want the book. And so they stayed on the call because they wanted to see, like, what else are they going to get? Like, what else is he going to be offering? And so they stayed, and then from the book, it went to something else. I think it was like, I don't know, it might have been like implementation with a book or something. So I think it was like 6 months, and you pay $6,000. And so $1,000 a month, and you have one 1 hour group implementation session. So everyone that got the book free would be able to jump on a Zoom with Alex once a month for an hour as he walked you through how to implement different sections of the book, right? And so, yeah, a whole lot of people signed up for that. It might have been 3,000, not 6. Like, don't quote me on the numbers. As I said, the replay's been deleted now. I'm just doing all this from memory. And then the next level up was, and so if you, when you got the implementation, then you're going to start to see all these results, and then you're going to want to do this next thing. And then he made it so that, like, I don't know, you could also get these extra 200 copies of the book that you could then donate to people who needed it. You could then get your own bundle of 200 copies of this book, and you could give it to, anybody that you wanted. You could give it away as a free thing to build your own business. You could give it away to friends and family. Like, you could just give it away. So anyway, it went on and on and on. And, the longer that the live stream went on, the more expensive things got. And I can't remember what the top tier was. Let's just say it was $6,000, whatever. But yeah, in the first 24 hours, it was $7.8 million in sales. I do remember that because the number flashed up on the screen, and they were like so excited about it. The next day, they were like, we've hit $7.8 million in sales, heading for a Guinness World Record. And then boom, within another 24 hours, they'd made over $100 million in sales just from a book launch. Now, I found all of this because I'm starting to think now, before I write my book, I'm thinking, you want to do it with the end in mind. This is what I tell my clients in Practice Momentum all the time. So the women in there that are making courses and memberships, like they've got the full diaries now, they're making their money, they've got the clients, but now they're wanting to move away from so many one-to-one sessions, get some of their time back, and introduce, new revenue streams. So they're building courses or memberships or subscriptions and things like that. And one of the, they're like, oh, I want to do this thing. And so I'm always saying to them, well, before we plan out your content and what people are going to get from month to month and things like that, and get all excited about titles and logos and taglines, let's start with the end in mind. Where's this going? What's on the other side of it for you? And let's work backwards. And I teach them that because that's how I work as well. So for me, with writing my book, although I haven't put pen to paper yet, I've started working on it, in that I'm thinking about what's the end point for me, like what's on the other side of the book for me, right? And so working back from that, of course, I need to think about how am I going to launch it. And so that's how I came across what happened with Alex. And it just happened to be a few weeks ago. Since then, lots of people have gone and started analysing it. You can pop onto YouTube and type Alex Hormozi book launch. You can see people breaking it down. It doesn't have so much relevance if you're a therapist in private practice just doing the one-to-ones, but it certainly has relevance if you are giving away freebies, PDFs, if you're selling, your courses, workshops, retreats, and things like that. So when you look at it, put aside his style and his manner, if it's like grating on you. I'm just saying that because he's not soft and flowery like we are. So you might feel a little bit, discombobulated, but just put that aside and focus on the process, right? And don't think about, oh, well, I don't have anything that's $6,000. Like, don't worry about the things he's doing of the $6,000. Follow the process, right? Success leaves clues. Follow the process. Listen to what he did and how he did it, and start to think, okay, what could this model look like for me in my private practice? Is this something that could work for me too? And if so, what would it look like? So yeah, the value is not about the money. The value is about what something's going to do for someone. When you're writing your social media posts, that's what you want to be speaking about, not your availability, not that you don't have a wait list, right? Think about the value, what's on the other side for someone. That's why you need a niche. If you don't have a niche, you don't have an ideal client. Without having an ideal client, you can't convey what the value is. If you're working with people who are aged 4 to 94, they're all going to have, like, just based on age alone, they're all going to have very different needs and requirements. The value is going to be very different. If you're working with people who have, I don't know, they're coming for couples counselling, but you also work with, clients who have ADHD, I mean, how are you going to speak to the value? You can't. You've got competing, well, they're not competing, but they're just so different. You can't. And it's going to take you so much longer. This is why I will say it like time and time and time again. Get your niche sorted out, get your diary going. Once it's going, then broaden out, then expand out. So I hope that this was helpful. I really hope that this was helpful. Stop selling the candle, start selling the value. If you need help with it, of course, you've got a few options to get help with me. You can have a 15-minute business strategy call with me. Or if you think that you've done those things on the website, or you think you're not sure how to do those things on your website and you would like my input, because I'm more than happy to give you examples specific to your messaging, your page, how you could be conveying the value. Of course, go ahead and book a website wellness check. The links for both of those are in the show notes. And thank you for listening to another episode. As I said, I hope this was super helpful. Have a wonderful day. And here's to your practice success. Bye for now. And that's a wrap for this episode of the Private Practice Podcast. So as you reflect on today's insights, imagine creating real success in your private practice without going down rabbit holes or exhausting yourself with business activities that don't move the needle. With Practice Momentum, you have push of a button help available on demand. It's like having an expert in your pocket ready to guide you whenever you need it. Visit brooklynstorm.com to discover how Practice Momentum can transform your approach to building a thriving practice. I'm Dr. Brooklyn Storm, and I'll see you next time as we continue exploring the mind, business, and spirit of private practice success.